In the human embodiment perspective, a perspective on culture that is adopted by certain sociologists, the focus is on how culture affects the way in which we experience a physical condition or an emotion. According to anthropologist Mary Douglas, while all of us have the same kind of body, the same type of body, every culture is highly selective in how the members of that society view themes such as individuality, collectivity, what the body is about, the conditions that it can experience, the emotions that are appropriate for a given situation, or even how intensely these emotions can be felt and expressed. How human bodily needs are fulfilled varies widely from culture to culture. In each culture, some bodily functions or life events are viewed in a positive light, and others are viewed as dangerous or polluting. Now, for example, all humans need to eliminate body wastes, but where it's done, when it's done, in what physical position, and even how it's done is culturally specific. The anthropologist Weiser notes that in our treatment of food, for example, we will echo the preferences and principles of our culture in terms of how we eat, where, when, and even what we eat. We will echo cultural preferences in terms of abstaining from food or in terms of feasting. All of those are examples of the way in which culture and human embodiment interact. A second issue is the question of death. Now, death is inevitable for all of us, but it's not simply death is not simply death. It's not just something that, as North Americans think of it, as something that's a one-time event and either you're dead or you're alive. Even in North America, as our technologies have developed over time, so too have our understandings of what death is, when it occurs, and even different types of death, for example, brain death versus physical body death. Determining what death is and when it happens for many cultures is not strictly a technical issue. What's considered as death varies from culture to culture and depends greatly on cultural beliefs and categories. In many societies, for example, death is not considered to occur instantaneously as it is in North America. Either you're dead or you're alive. Rather, death is thought to occur over a period of many days or months or even a year with changing conditions. Now, in North America today, we consider the act of dying to be a private affair. But in Europe, even 200 or 300 years ago, death was not a private affair. Death was a public affair. And people in a village or a town could expect to and be expected to attend to a neighbor's or a relative's or a friend's death, or even at the death of somebody who they didn't know personally but who was a public figure. Examples that I note throughout the section on death in chapter 10 demonstrate a complex relationship between death as a biological experience and death as a cultural experience. Memory, like death, is also a biological phenomena, but remembering something is not merely biologically based. It's not just a psychological capacity that all humans have independent of any cultural content. A biologically based faculty, such as memory, is dependent simultaneously on the functioning of the brain and on culturally specified techniques that the individual has acquired. The interweaving of memory as biology and as cultural technologies to aid memory are demonstrated with the example of printing and memory, or the immediate example that most of you will have either beside you or in your hand, the example of the use of cell phones or other technologies to immediately access the information that you need via the internet.